I'm about to say, I want you to hear me out and don't jump and comment just yet. I've noticed that a lot of white women seem to have an easier time getting into relationships, getting engaged, and getting married. Now, hold on, I'm not done talking. Statistics, various newspaper articles, men of various races, especially black men, will have you believing that it's because black women are not desirable, we're not smart, we don't make good partners, which is actually not true.
So, to start over again, because somebody forgot to press record. I even forgot what we were saying to begin with. But anyway, I feel like before we press record, it's actually pretty good. But
you said that you saw it pop up on his
channel.
Yes.
Okay, so I saw this lady, which we have done a video about before, pop up on Anton Daniel's channel, and I honestly just wanted to see what he had to say about some of the things that she has to say. And the title is something about snow bunnies, so we already know it's going to be about white women. And so I just thought that you might find it interesting also. But I also want to see his take on it, because the thing is that she has a lot of strong opinions, and I think you said before, when you didn't press record before, that you felt like she had a strong personality. And there's nothing wrong with having a strong personality. It's just that you got to know. What is that? What was that old song? You got to know when to hold them.
Yes.
Know when
to fold them. I'm sure that's a card game, but she doesn't let other people speak. She just wants you to hear her, and then she wants to cut you off, especially if you're white, if you have a comment.
Yeah, so how can you be making a video and telling people to shut up? They're not even talking to you. Like, she must be doing a live, but you're telling people to shut up in a live. Like, who cares? Like, they you can just keep talking over whatever. But anyway, but like you said, she seems to be she is very opinionated. But let's hear what she's got to say.
We're the most educated human beings on the planet. We are the beauty standard, despite the fact that media tries to gaslight us and make us think that we are not. And studies have proven that we are actually amazing partners. If you comment right here, you're going to be loud and wrong. Just keep listening.
It is amazing that she feels like she's the only one that's right about whatever she's about to say. Here's the thing. I have a very high opinion of myself, but I do understand that other people may have a different opinion than what I do, which is not all, but a lot of you all in the comments. And the thing is that, listen, you have the right to have whatever opinion that you may want to have, even though it may be wrong. But at the same time, I allow for you all to have your opinion in the comments. And I don't really care, because you have different life experiences than what I may have. But for her to say that you need to listen because you're going to be wrong or whatever she said, it's just a little arrogant, I just feel. And so I'm going to tell you all, you need to listen to me, because you all are always wrong.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying. I'm right 99.9% of the time. I mean, I have a good track record, right?
I mean, when you're not arguing with me. Yeah.
And then I am.
No, you are right most of the time.
Yeah, because I don't speak much off the camera. I'm very selective with my words. But I am wrong half the time. I will admit that. All right. But anyway.
But there's something very important that a lot of these studies leave out when they try to make it seem like white women are just so much amazingly more easy to be wifed up. One of the reasons why black men tend to veer on the side of snow bunnies is they think it's some kind of status symbol. Although the preferences do not get preferential treatment, they often get treated way worse than they would ever treat a black woman. Of white women.
Nah, she's wrong. 100% wrong.
She said what?
That they think that white women get preferential treatment, but she said that that's not true. White women actually get treated worse than if the black man was with a black woman.
And so I would circle the wagon and say, how did she know? Like, how does she know? Is she a white woman that's been in a relationship with a black man?
She knows a lot about white people.
How did she know? The same thing I say about Dr. Umar when he says, well, this is what is being said about you. It's like, how do you know, Dr. Umar? Are you in these households? Are you a fly on the wall? Do you have listening devices? Like, how do you know? And so my thing to her is, how do you know? Are you just taking by observation, by what she sees? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I see a lot of bad relationships between same race couples all across the board. White, white couples, black couples, Hispanic. I see a lot of just terrible relationships
I don't think
across
that
the board.
it's a color issue. Once again, I think it's a personality.
I see a lot
issue.
of people. Yeah, I see a lot of people treating people of their own race very wrong. I.e., you all in the comments. But at the same time, here's okay. I do have a bone to pick, and then we're gonna let the video because we do have to go somewhere. I was thinking about this because I do look at comments every once in a while when I don't have anything to do, which is very rarely. But it is funny to me how people, black people in general, can be so, how do I say, so, is the word disdain? They can have such bad opinions about a white person until a white person says something against another black person that they like. I.e. is the first video I think we really ever made was the bald white lady, yada yada, and we still get comments, well, she's right. Okay, so black people are very, very quick to agree with a white person when they are saying something that they think is putting black people on a second tier level, which is amazing to me. But if a black person tries to say that, no, my experience is different, then you get demeaned in the comments. And so I say that because the last video we had a little back and forth, and it wasn't bad because we have this off camera all the time about just different stuff because we have conversations. But anyway, and so it was amazing to me how many of it seemed like black people in the comments agreed with you versus how
with me.
Yeah, they did. They agree with you. So I don't know if you remember, but you had made a comment. It was the Mike Tyson video, and it was when T.I. said, "Well, if that's our dog." Okay, stop. T.I. had said that if Mike Tyson would have been, if Bill Gates or whoever else,
Mark Zuckerberg,
would have been black, it's like, could they have done the same thing? And Mike Tyson said something like, I don't know. But you kind of agree with T.I. Now, I agree to a degree. But what I turned around and said is that Mike Tyson's kids and T.I.'s kids starting out from where they're starting out, the journey could be different. Plus, it's a different time now. And so, could they rise to a greater level? Yes, I believe even though they are black, they can rise to a greater level. Now, the thing is that people in the comments were agreeing with you versus me, who has lived experience and has done okay for myself. And to look at things a different way, because not everything has to do with race. Maybe a lot of things do, but you don't know the full picture about everything all the time. If you don't get the job, doesn't mean that you're not getting the job just because of the color of your skin. It may be somebody that's more qualified you didn't know about. It may be somebody that's already been picked for the job that you didn't know about, because keep going up and down, because sometimes the way that you get things a lot of times is by knowing people, and if you don't know anybody and you go in cold, a lot of times you're unfortunately at the disadvantage already. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. But anywho, enough of that. I know we got off on the video.
Guys don't necessarily believe today. Now, I don't know if this is something of yesteryear or what, but guys don't necessarily believe today that white women is any better. As a matter of fact, the majority of the conversations that I experience, and I've done a lot of coaching, obviously I've done a lot of live streaming, made a lot of videos, and got a lot of comments, millions of them, is that they don't actually rock with them because they think that they are better than black women. And of course, you're not going to find everybody in the same category because nobody's a monolith.
White black men are with white women.
I wouldn't know.
So I think he said that she said that black men with white women think that white women are a come up. Are basically
He said that's not the case.
Yeah, what he said in talking to many black men who are in interracial relationships is that is not the case for many of them. Is that they are not looking at white women as being better than black women. And so, I don't know. Just
what they're used to. So maybe like places they hang out, or just because...
Well, we're going to get in that in a second. I was just asking you about if you thought that... Because,
I mean, I don't know what black men think. I don't know. But I never, like... When I was single, I wasn't going out looking for a certain color. I was out just having fun. Like.
So here's what I'll say, because it could be very awkward where we're going, but we had a conversation. What was it, yesterday about some ladies we had to do some type of training, so I had met them, and so we were talking, and so just in talking, like I was telling them about you, but I didn't mention anything about your color, and they just
Assumed
that you are black, and if we see them tonight, and so here's the thing. I would say is that at times it can present as being a little bit awkward. Now,
Yeah. Hopefully they walk in and see me from the back. They'll be like, oh yeah, there she is.
is that because they won't see your color of your skin or because of your butt?
Both. I could pass for black from the back.
But I would say for some, it may be that they feel like, dating or being with a white woman could be a come up. But I would say for honestly, a lot of guys, that is not the case. It's just who they have, who they are genuinely attracted to, and
Or who they feel
Yeah.
comfortable around.
Yeah.
And they can be themselves around.
And so, which is going into the point where I believe he was about to go.
Oh.
They usually rock with them for a couple different reasons. Number one, it's because that is what they're used to being around. So, whereas in my generation, it was a lot more normal for you to basically date whatever is in the proximity of you or be with whoever is in the proximity of you. And because I was raised in the inner city of Detroit, which is largely considered one of the blackest cities inside of the United States of America, that was who you was going to be attracted to. I also went to middle school at a predominantly all male school, but then all of the parties and all of the events that we went to was basically all white girls. But the thing about it is that I think that most guys today are raised in environments where you have a melting pot. There is a lot of everybody, or there are a lot of times raised in predominantly Caucasian environments that they tend to be attracted to them. And those are the people that they usually rock with.
What?
We're not going to get into this bar. We're going to have to stand outside in the rain.
No, I've been talking too much. Whether you're around and whether you have access to more. Mm-hmm. And so just because you may be attracted to black women, but you may be around just in your environment white women more. So because of your environment, you may end up finding someone of a different race, might not be white or whatever
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And so the thing is that at the end of the day, I mean, if somebody's happy, what does it matter? And so I think a lot of people outside looking in have all these like, well, she's with him because of this, and he's with her because of this, and say, but you don't know what the environment was or the environment is that they are around daily or were around daily that brought them two together. I think it can be complicated at times. It can be complicated outside looking in because until you talk to someone, like you don't know where their true like feelings and true notions about the situations they're in, what they come from and why they're, and just like for us, I don't think there's any really I'm with her because she's white, she's with me because I'm black. It's just I'm speaking for you, but I could be wrong. But I'm not with you just because of the color of your skin. I'm with you because we get along and we have a lot of things in common.
Right.
So you need to get a raincoat.
Let me hear more of what she has to say, and then we're going to revisit this conversation.
Women who get with black men are doing so out of rebellion because their parents were racist, which I'm about to dive into. And that is the reason why a lot of those relationships fail. It's a statistical fact. They have the highest divorce rate. Now let's dive in. I think that one of the biggest reasons as far as why that is because white women are willing to ignore the fact that their mate is racist. They're okay with having a relationship where they simply agree to disagree. So, of course, if someone being racist or homophobic or misogynistic is not a deal breaker for you, that's going to increase your opportunities to find a mate. The amount of white women that I have worked with in various places who have shared stories about how racist their husbands are. I remember one lady said that her husband told her if her kids ever married a black person, he would disown them, and she was laughing about it, saying she would just have to sneak around and see her kids because she wouldn't want to miss out on her grandkids.
I'm gonna stop right there because she said the amount of white women that she has worked with has told her, one, why is she so close with talking with white women if she has a disdain for white women? Mm-hmm. Two, I thought black people couldn't be racist because she is saying that the white women have told her that have been with black men how racist their husbands are. There's two things right there that I have watched other videos with her that don't seem to correlate with me with what she's saying. She'll say one thing over here and then she'll say something totally different over here. And so I'm just a little lost on her.
Yeah, because I'd like to know who the white women are that's talking to her, because they have little respect for themselves, because somebody like that who put you down so much, you're going to give her the time of day to have a conversation.
Yeah, maybe she's two different people. Maybe she code switches. Maybe she's one way at work and a different way outside of work.
She's probably married to a white guy.
She is married to nothing. I will guarantee you that.
And that's not to say that black women and women of other races don't date people who are racist, homophobic.
How about we have the conversation about the majority of us know that our parents or our grandparents have said, yo, don't ever bring a snow bunny home. The fact that they're labeling them snow bunnies and all of this.
True statement. And most people who are watching this video who are black have probably heard that before. And the thing is that, I heard it too. And so the thing is that.
And on the flip side, it happens on our side too.
And so, but is that racist? And so if it's racist on one side,
it's definitely racist on our side.
So is it not racist on the black side? And that's what I'm saying is that we're technically moving into what I would say. Our parents came up under different circumstances. They, to me, had, I don't want to even say, they had feelings about things that had went on in their growing up. And so
that affected them.
Yes.
Personally.
Yes. Our generation is a little bit removed from that, and then our kids' generation is more removed from that, and then our grandkids' generation is way removed from that. And so the thing is that feelings can change over time. And the thing is that I would say some of those conversations that parents were having with their kids, some of them, yes, were racist, but some of them were just to try to honestly maybe protect their kids, because you don't want to see your kid be put in a bad situation. Right. And so the thing is that, right or wrong, I can't judge, but I would say, a lot of black families have said that to their kids. Don't bring a white person in my house. I have heard that from my friends, friends' parents too. And so, but is that racist from our side, or is that more, because technically if it is racist from the other side, it should be racist from our side too. But can you sit back and understand how sometimes parents can be they'll say something and not be good enough at explaining why they're saying something, and it could be still wrong, but trying to protect their kid to a degree. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm just saying it's like it happens on both sides.
That's a lot, actually, though.
What?
It happens on both sides, but going back through the history, I mean, I could understand why black people say stuff like that, because they were hurt by our race. We weren't necessarily hurt by your race. It's more of a racism.
But is everybody
comment.
racist?
Everybody is not. Okay. And I do think that people of all races can be racist. People of all, color can be racist. And I could be wrong there. But I feel like I don't know. I just feel like there's a little more, I don't want to say forgiveness, leniency. I don't take it as personal when black people say it, because I do understand it's systemic. White people, I get pissed, honestly. And there's no reason that I understand for it. Now, I don't know what I don't know what went on 60, 75 years ago, but I'm pretty sure.
So here's what I can say. If somebody's saying something out of just trying to protect their kid, regardless of whatever race it is, I can understand it to a degree. I'm not saying that it's right, but I can understand it to a degree. Meaning that depending on where you live, if there are more racial tensions, because there's more racial tensions depending on where you live. If there's more racial tension in a place, I could see a parent, white, black, or whatever, saying that to their kid. Now, how they say it kind of depends, and they could be racist too. But at the same time, it's like parents do try to tell their kids don't hang out with certain kids also. And so so sometimes a parent can tell their kid not to hang out with another kid that seems to be more disadvantaged than they are, because they feel like that kid may be more of a troublemaker. And so
then use those adjectives.
But that's what I'm saying. Is that
use those words to describe. Don't bring home a guy to this house that is unemployed.
Yeah, no,
but leave color out of it.
No, and I'm with you on that. And that's what I'm saying. They may not be able to, some people that are racist may say it the way they want to say it, but some people, how many people have we been around that don't know how to express themselves?
Oh, yeah.
And so they may not be as skilled in expressing their true feelings and intentions, and it may come out a certain way. Just because I'm saying something right now, other people are taking it a different way. Other people right now are taking it a different way. So I may not be expressing myself to some people, because they may be, I'm pretty sure a lot of them looking at me and saying I'm dead wrong. Yeah. But at the end of the day, because we got to agree to go anyway. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel that there's a lot of from this lady and from other people on the internet, a lot of things that are said about people in interracial relationships, that some things can be true, just like with people who are racist and other things. But not everything, not everything is true. You can't put everybody in the same bucket. Right. Now, you can watch people's tendencies and get to know them, and then make your judgment from there. But just making a judgment, what is that? Don't read the book by its cover. Don't judge a book by its cover. And so I would say for a lot of people, if you truly want to understand, take the time to know them, and then make your judgment after that. Your judgment may be more educated and more correct, but just painting everyone with a broad brush, I don't believe in that. But anyway, all right, we got to go. All right.